Probably the biggest downside of the dual screen is that it doesn't have a built-in battery, which means that if the main battery of the phone is under 15%, you cannot use the dual screen phone. Check this out, guys. Check the message over here. No can do. Hello guys and welcome to Vlogging Project. It's Tony here, your favorite YouTuber. Today I'm gonna talk about 13 reasons you should not buy the second screen for the LG V60. Now, first of all, if you live in the US, probably you already got the second screen because it came bundled with your phone, depending on the carriers. But if you live in Europe, you either have to import one from the US or you have to find one on eBay from somebody like me who already imported one and wants upwards of £200 for one of those screens. Granted, you can find one cheaper on the American eBay, talk with the seller to send it to you, import it, pay the import charges, but again we're looking at about £200, which is way too much for this device, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, first of all, that's a third generation screen. First of all, they had a second screen on the G8X, after that on the V50, and this is the V60. After that they made one for the Velvet. But anyways, if you already use that screen and find a really useful, purpose for it, I would like to know what exactly are you doing on that screen, because apart from the fact that you've got a dual screen and you can do something else on the second screen while doing something else on the first screen, I don't see any other benefit, but there are 13 downsides you should be aware of. And here's the first one. The case is downright ugly and it comes only in one color. You can't really argue with that. The second reason is it's fragile and it scratches really easily. I'm really not sure what kind of Gorilla Glass have they used over here, or is it Gorilla Glass at all, but I already got scratches on my inner and outer screens and I didn't really use it. And the thing is, when you look at on eBay, you can find one with cracked screens here and there. I mean, they are quite common, they just break. The third downside is the weight. 350 grams, guys. We're looking at about, almost iPad territory over here, and the dual screen itself weighs almost 150 grams. When you think about it, this is the Sharp 02, the 240 Hz phone. It weighs just under 150 grams, exactly the same weight as the dual screen, and that's a whole phone over here. The other downside is that the case opens like that on the left hand side over here, covering up 3 of the buttons. If it was the other way around, it would have covered only 1 button. Now, at the bottom of the device, we've got 2 more downsides. First of all, the magnetic connector over here. Because the hole is way too big for any charger to fit, they had to figure out a way to transfer the charging capability, so that's why they come up with this magnetic dongle over here. It's magnetic, that's fine, but it's white. I mean, why is it white? And of course, the other downside is the 3.5mm jack. Now, if you have a regular pair of headphones, you cannot plug them in the jack anymore, simply because the hole is not that big and it doesn't fit. Now, the next reason is that this screen is too cold to my liking. So the situation is the following. You can adjust, the color modes on the main screen, the temperature and all of that, but you cannot do that on the second screen. So pretty much looking at the same content, for example, on Google or on a white background, you've got 2 different color temperatures on 2 screens and you can't really change it on the second screen. Why? Now, the other thing which is absolutely ridiculous is that you've got a fake notch on the second screen, pretty much the same size as the one on the main screen, just to match it. Now, I'm using Nacho Notch to hide the notch over here because it's damn ugly, but I can't really use the same, application to hide the second notch over here. So no matter what you do, you've got 2 notches. Now, next up is the inability to use the second screen as a keyboard. You can actually do that, but only with LG's keyboard. You cannot do that with any third-party keyboard, which is absolutely blows my mind. Now, you might say, well, there's a wide view application which you have to install additionally, which lets you actually do that. But the thing is, the problem over here is that you have to swipe down over here, actually not on that screen. You have to go back to that screen. you have to swipe down. Where is it? Wide mode. Okay, and then it becomes the white mode over here, and then you have to go back to whatever you were doing, and then you have to press, and then you've got the keyboard. I mean, seriously, why do you have to do that? Now, next up is the LG's gamepad. In theory, you can actually map any button to the screen so you can, control your game like that. In reality, it's super cumbersome to do that, and it has many limitations. Not to mention that it doesn't work on the PSXC, the PlayStation 1 emulator. And of course, let's talk about the small screen over here. First of all, it is not a touch screen. Second of all, it is not always on. You have to press the power button to activate it, or you have to, rise to wake. There is just no other way. And lastly, phone gets a little bit glitchy sometimes. You open up the screen, check this out. First of all, it's the lock screen over here. I mean, you have to activate that. It takes a few seconds for the second screen to kick in, and sometimes you register a touch. I mean, you touch the screen, but the second screen doesn't properly register it, which is due to the lack of optimization. And considering this phone already got Android 11 and LG is pretty much shutting down their mobile division, apparently, this phone will never see Android 12. And the thing is that they already had they had an opportunity to fix all of those issues with the Android 11 update, but they were like, nah, the second screen, nobody is using it anyway, so why bother to update it? And that's how, guys, we've got a pretty bad product over here, which actually nobody is using. I mean, again, if you are using it for something useful, please do let me know in the comments section below. But otherwise, this is a product which I cannot recommend, simply because it's a case, it's a second screen, it doesn't serve a very good purpose as a case because it's well too heavy, you can easily break it, and with all of those downsides and limitations, what's the purpose really? And I heard that some people say that, oh, that's a glimpse of the foldables. Well, it is not a glimpse of the foldables, because I was using, the dual screen phones from way back in the day, the Kyocera, Echo, the ZTE, Axon M, and all of those phones, they've got the border over here between the screens. And if it's not seamless, then you're not getting a glimpse of anything. The only glimpse that you're getting is your money gone down the drain. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully I managed to save you 100 to 2 or even 300 bucks on a second screen. That was Tony, your favorite YouTuber. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Adios.